Hey, it's episode 3 of season 2, folks. It just springs up on me when it ends. It's funny. I'm still not used to that intro. Anyways, folks, welcome. We've got a lot of new people here tonight. I know with the Poco fans and the Strumberry Pie and Marty Allen, we've got a lot of new people. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what the show is, but I wanted to welcome you to the Songwriters Circle here at Light of Day Canada. Light of Day Canada, for the folks that aren't really familiar, we got a lot of likes this week. Thank you for liking our page and following us. I want to tell you a little bit about Light of Day Canada. Light of Day Canada started in 2007. Since then, we've raised about $500,000 for Parkinson's through our shows. Now, those of you down in Asbury Park, all the friends of Strumberry Pie, you guys know a lot about Light of Day. You get Mr. Springsteen down there every once in a while, and of course, the Light of Day Winterfest is the biggest festival. I say in America, it's the best show. We go down there every year. And you guys raise about $1 million per show. So we're a little smaller. We've had some great shows. Everybody from Steve Earle, Southside Johnny, Blue Rodeo. We've had some great shows. And this year, we were all excited at the beginning of 2020. Weren't we all excited at the beginning of 2020? Different world back then. We got Tim Hicks. We landed Tim Hicks, great Canadian country artist. Tim Hicks was going to do our big show. It was going to be in November. It was going to be a slam dunk, and we were going to raise a ton of money for the cause. But unfortunately, we all know what happened with COVID. So we had to change gears and we had to pivot a little bit. And after sulking for a while and trying to figure out what to do, we came up with the idea of having a songwriter circle. Now, that came from one, my love of songwriters, but it also came from the fact that Light of Day Canada has had several songwriters circles and different events that we've put on. And Light of Day in Asbury Park has the best songwriter circles. And if you go to McLuhan's on a Sunday afternoon and listen to all the songwriters down there, it's fantastic. So that's where that came from. But the main reason for the show, to keep the awareness going with Light of Day Canada, to let you know we haven't gone anywhere, but also, and I think the most important was to get our artists out there, artists that have played for us for down in Asbury, and even some new Light of Day family, like a couple of the members we have out today. So it was to keep them working, keep them doing things, bring them, some of these folks. In fact, one of our guests hasn't performed in I think he said 8 months. So this is the first time, and I'm hopefully we don't scare him off with all this technology, but because we'd love to see him doing more. But so that was one of the main purposes. And one of the things that's been getting to me during COVID, we've all been hit hard. We all have. Some more than others, obviously, but musicians have really been hit hard. They're not touring. We all know that Spotify pays nothing. In fact, a friend of mine, Taylor Davis, posted something that a T-shirt, if you buy a T-shirt on their website, you make more than 5,000 streams on Spotify. So one of the things we want to promote is, going to artists' websites, buying their merch. The artists you see here, go to their website. You have MartyAllenBand.com, Strumberry Pie, PocoBand.com. Buy any of the merch that they have and help these guys out, because they're not touring. They're not making money on Spotify and YouTube. It's not where they're making the money. They go out, every week and play, and that's where their income is. And it's not there right now. We don't know when it's going to happen. So, find their tip jars, tip them, buy their merch, do what you can. And I want to thank our sponsors. One of the greatest things with Light of Day is our business partners. We have had some great sponsors over the year. And with this Songwriters Circle series, that didn't change. Tonight, our artists are sponsored by Edward J. Freeland Foundation. They've been a big sponsor. Jim Davies and his crew over at the Edward J. Freeland Foundation have been big sponsors for many, many years. And I want to thank them for sponsoring our artists tonight. The artists aren't getting rich, that's for sure tonight, but it is a little something for them. And I want the newbies, especially, that don't know much about Light of Day. At the beginning, we gave all of our money to Parkinson's. About a year and a half, or almost 2 years now, I lost my dad to cancer, and so many people have lost somebody to cancer. So we started donating some of our money to cancer. Unfortunately, we just started. So we haven't been able to give a lot of money to our partners, obviously 2020, but even back in 2019. These are the two organizations that we give our money to: the Steve Ludzik Foundation for Parkinson's Care and the Niagara Health Foundation Walker Family Cancer Center. A lot of our folks in the Niagara Region use the center. It's a great center, and it helps. The money we give them helps buy equipment. So your money's going to two great causes, Parkinson's and cancer. And I know it's tough out there, but if you can find a couple dollars, anything helps. You can go to lightoftdaycanada.com/donate tonight or at any time and help us out. I do want to say before we get rolling and introduce our guests, we've probably made about $1,000, so not bad with these shows over the last few months. But two big supporters, I want to thank them. I didn't realize until I looked into the bank accounts the other day just how generous they've been. I want to thank Tim Cabry, and I want to thank John and Cassie Borden for their generous donations over the past 7 shows. I really, really appreciate it. The board of directors really appreciates it. So thank you very much to everybody who's donated. Those two I just wanted to send a special shout out to. So thank you very much. Now, tonight's show, okay, my son told me, Dad, you can't be fanboy tonight. So I'm, other than my Poco hat, I didn't put on my Poco shirt, and I didn't put up Poco posters behind me. I'm trying to stay calm. Well, we got 3 great artists tonight. I'm so looking forward to this. We got Marty Allen. Marty's from the Niagara Region. We've got Rusty Young. We all know Rusty from Poco. And it looks like a duo, but it's actually a trio. Strumberry Pie will be here with us tonight. I want to tell you a little bit about next episode's guest. This is going to be another great show. We've got the great Stephen Stanley from Toronto, Johnny Paisano from New York, and he also plays in the Willie Nile Band. And the great Willie Nile will be here. Really looking forward to that show too. So it's been great. The first 6 shows were fantastic. I'll tell you before we introduce everybody to the newbies, your Facebook live streams, they all sound a lot really clear. They might sound a lot better than maybe what you're going to hear tonight. The sound quality, our software is, I love the software for producing the show. Sometimes though, there's some glitches with the sound, so bear with us. We've had a few ups and downs over the 7 episodes that we've done, but all in all, everything's been great. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. I don't want somebody sitting there going, oh, damn, it doesn't sound great. It will. You'll enjoy the show. So thanks very much for tuning in, folks. And I want to bring on everybody. I see we're missing somebody in the backstage area. Hopefully they'll be turning their cameras on shortly. But our first guest tonight is a great singer-songwriter. Now, his name's Marty Allen. He's from St. Catharines, Ontario. My son actually opened up for Marty a couple times in the show Men in Black. He does a great Johnny Cash tribute. He's fantastic. It's one of his idols. But he's also got the Marty Allen Band and the Cadillac Cowboys. You may have seen him there. You may have seen him at the bars in St. Catharines and all over Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Marty Allen. How you doing, Marty?
Doing good, Dave. How are you?
I just realized I said welcome to the stage. There's no stage.
Well,
How about welcome to the show?
It just feels right even saying that, right? So.
Do you miss the stage, Marty?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Wow, we're really glad to have you, and we're really excited about tonight's show. So thanks for coming out. And I want to introduce our next guests from the great state of New Jersey. Now, I saw them at the Saint. Me, my cousin Bill, and my son Evan caught them at the Saint a few years ago in the Asbury Park Winterfest, and we were blown away. We loved them. We were just stopping in for a quick drink, but we stayed for the rest of the set, and the year after we went back looking for them. We found them, and my cousin Bill plays them all the time at his cottage. I think I told the girls that, but he's always got them on up at the cottage. Really, really enjoy their music. And like I said before, it says that they're a duo on their website, but they're actually a trio. So it's Laura, Dee Dee, and the great Andy Russo. So I like to bring them, I don't want to say to the stage, to the show tonight. Welcome, guys, to the Songwriter Circle Series.
Hi.
We're so glad to have you guys on board tonight. Thanks for doing the show.
We're really happy.
I know I've been a little bit of a OCD pest with you guys, and I apologize. But we've done 17 sound checks since last week.
What we do.
That's what you do. Well, we're excited to have you guys on, and we all know our next guest, and I am a little excited. I'm excited to see you guys very, very much. But this next guy, when I grew up, I was a Bruce Springsteen nut. That was my favorite artist, and then my favorite band was Poco. Several years later, now after following these guys around for, 30 years, We ended up doing their website over at Danima Creative Group. I got to know Mary very, very well. Mary Young, she's fabulous. I love working with Mary. And got to know Rusty a little bit, and I was so excited when he said he would come on the show. He just had a solo album not too long ago. We did a quick little website for that. It's a great solo album. His first solo album, if you can imagine that, called "Waiting for the Sun to Shine." Fantastic. Here's a nice picture of Rusty back in the early Poco days with Timothy B. Schmidt in the back playing the lap steel guitar. We all know him from Poco. He's a great singer-songwriter, the voice of Poco, the front man, the legendary, ladies and gentlemen, Rusty Young. Welcome to the show, Rusty. How you doing, Rusty? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
are you sure?
Intro that was.
Was I too fanboyish? Was I too much of a fanboy?
No. You're great.
Listen, it's a thrill to have you on the show. Like I said, I've been a big fan my entire life, and getting to know Mary and you a little bit, and you agreeing to be on this, it really made my day. So I thank you for that. And I think there's a lot of Poco fans out there watching the show tonight. You'll see my eyes go up once in a while, and that's because I'm looking at the viewership. They've had to listen to me for 5 to 10 minutes, and they're still here, so that's a good sign. But there's a ton of people. This may be the most people we've had at a show, so no pressure, guys. No pressure at all. So Evan's going to be working the comments. The cool thing about this program is you can bring up Facebook comments. So my son is in the other room on his new laptop bringing up the comments. Now, I will tell people out there in internet land that if Marty's playing and he comes to the end of the song and you say, "Great song, Marty," there's a little bit of a lag and we might not get that up because Strumberry Pie will be playing after that. So get your comments early on in the song, folks, so we can get them up. Everybody wants to see them. The way this show works, for those who haven't been part of the show, is it's just like a regular songwriter circle. Marty's going to play Strumberry Pie and do the next song. Over to Rusty, we'll do 2 rounds. I'll come back on. Not that you want to see me, but I'll do some housekeeping stuff, and then we'll do 2 more rounds to end the show. So, Rusty, you're in charge of these guys. You're the elder statesman.
Me?
And they're a bunch. Yeah, you're in charge. They're just kids. I need you to keep them in line for the show, and you get to introduce Marty. You got that? Well, you've been a band leader for all these years, so it should come natural.
Sure. Well, I'd like to introduce one of my dearest old friends. We've known each other forever. He's a really great guy, Mr. Marty Allen.
All right. Thank you for the introduction, Rusty, and thanks, David, for setting this show up. It's a song I wrote off of a CD, not my latest one, but one prior to that, entitled Blue Church Road, and the song's called Come Back, Baby. I got my old jeans, got a pair of boots, black and white TV, but I ain't got you. I drive me a Chevy truck, sleep under a leaky roof. I got my old dog, but baby, I ain't got you. Come back, baby, I need you in my life. Things just ain't the same here since you walked out that night. I'll keep the front light on in case you ever want to come back home. I swear sometimes when I see you drive by, I just sit and stare. Those old photographs, you know, the ones up on the wall, you know, the ones that made me laugh. We were wild and young, and our love was sweet and true. I got a lot of pictures here, baby, I ain't got you. Come back, baby, I need you in my life. Things just ain't the same here since you walked out that night. I'll keep the front light on in case you ever want to come back home. I swear sometimes all I see you drive by. Happy hour at the bar, Ain't so happy anymore while the band plays a walk the floor over you. Play me another certain song. I won't be staying sober long. Well, ever since you walked out the door. Come back, baby, I need you in my life. Things just ain't the same here since you walked out that night. I'll keep the front light on in case you ever want to come back home. I swear sometimes when I see you drive by, well, I wish sometimes you would just drive by. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'd like to introduce to you now my friend Strumberry Pie.
Thank you. That's fantastic, Marty. Thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna get started with our first song. You might notice that I'm holding it or not playing it. That's just because the software is. We found that it sounds better if only one guitar plays, but I'll be holding it as my.
It looks good on you.
Like one of the monkeys. Thanks. You ready?
2, 3, 4.
I'd rather be your friend. I'd rather be your friend. Oh yes, I would rather be your friend. I'd rather be your friend. Walk with you in the sunshine instead of hiding under cover. I'd rather be your friend than your lover. Oh, 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 I'd rather be your lover than your friend. I'd rather be your lover. Oh yes, I would rather be your lover than your friend. And press those sweet lips against mine instead of me holding hands. Oh no, I'd rather be your lover than your friend. Oh, it don't seem to matter where you draw the line, 'cause I just won't be satisfied in the end. 'Cause you got no room for me, I take up too much space. When I see your funny face, it makes me wanna try, wanna try. Yeah, yeah. Take it easy. Oh, it don't seem to matter where you draw the line. I just won't be satisfied in the end. 'Cause you got no room for me, I take up too much space. When I see your funny face, it makes me wanna try, wanna try. You gotta be up to no, 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 no. I gotta say goodbye and be your fool. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. I'd rather be your friend. Oh, I'd rather be your lover. No, I guess I'll say goodbye. Well, thank you so much for having us do that. I think Andy should flip it over since Andy is our resident fan.
I'm going to be a
I
fanboy.
mean, we're all fans, but he's a real fanboy.
Next up, we have one of my heroes from my teenage years, Mr. Rusty Young.
Well, thanks, kids. I can kind of see myself. Well, it's great to be here, and really thanks to David. He does a great job on our website. Really appreciate that. And so I guess I'll do a song. Just a lot of times people ask me what's my favorite Poco record or favorite Poco song. It's certainly one of my favorite Poco CDs or album, whatever you call it, is called Legacy. And it's an album that we put out in 1989. And it was a reunion of the original Poco band with Randy Meisner, Jimmy Messina, George Grantham, and Richie Furay. And that was a really fun album. And I have a gold record on the wall over here for that one. So it worked out pretty good. But I think I'll do a song from that, okay? See if you have heard. I just heard this at the grocery store, by the way. So there you go. We're high on the grocery store hit list. We've got all night, let's take our time. Tell me your secrets, I'll tell you mine. And when it makes us feel better, we'll call it love. Yeah. You say you won't, and I say you will. You make me crazy, but I want you still. When it makes us feel better, we'll call it love. Do we tell our truth? Do we live our life? Is the feeling good? Is that what makes you cry? When you say those words, look me in the eye and tell me why we call it love. I play my hand to call my bluff. We push each other till we've had enough. When it's all you've got, just call it love. If I didn't have money, would you want me still? When you walk real close, do we fit the bill? Call it what you want, only time will tell. Oh yeah. Do we tell our truth? Do we live a lie? Is the feeling good? Is that what makes you cry? When you say those words, look me in the eye. Tell me why we call it love. We've got all night, let's take our time. Tell me your secrets, I'll tell you mine. When it makes us feel better, we'll call it love. Let's call it love. Whoa. Got my COVID beer too. If you anyone wants to know to see that COVID beard. It's the thing to have. Thank you. No applause. Hold the applause. Mary, applause.
All right. Great job. Here's a song, Angelina. I apologize. Sometimes I can't sit too far back because I'm kind of tied to the short tether on my headphones here. But I am playing my Gibson Hummingbird, which I love this guitar. I know I've been generally playing my Gretsch with doing a lot of rockabilly lately, but I still do a lot of singer-songwriter stuff, and this is off of one of those albums where it's just kind of telling a story. This song here is Angelina, and you know, sometimes you sit down and have some ideas in your head, and then just the way things come up lyrically or in a phrase, all of a sudden it'll just turn that song into a different direction. And it's just kind of interesting how things go in that regard of writing at times. Bottle of whiskey, lipstick on cigarettes. There's a woman in the kitchen, she lies awake in bed. She hears them talking while they drink. Come the morning, they won't remember a thing. Angelina, you gotta go. Better life waiting somewhere down the road. Angelina, you've heard a thing. Sometimes life could be so mean. Made up her mind, she's gonna leave. He's got a car, she's got the keys, and he lays passed out on the floor. She ain't staying around here no more. Angelina, you gotta go. Better life waiting somewhere down the road. Angelina, you've heard a thing. Sometimes life can be so mean. She drives away, 16 years old. Her mother left them a year ago. She's got her picture in her suitcase. She's got her daddy's eyes, got her mother's face. Angelina, you gotta go. Better life wait somewhere down the road. Angelina, you've heard a thing. Sometimes life can be so mean. Thank you. Introducing again, Strumberry Pie.
That was
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you, Marty. That's a beautiful song. Our next song was written during some dark times when things just weren't working out, but it's a very joyful way of talking about.
Unlike times right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They weren't, no, it wasn't that dark. But it's a very happy way of talking about something dark. So I think it cancels each other out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Say that we should start each day by giving thanks instead of asking for things we wish we had. They say that every day's a gift. Well, how about that? If you've got your health, things can be so bad. Every time I try to take one step ahead, hit that big brick wall and then I take that fall. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith. I can't remember the last time that I got on my knees and prayed. I lost my faith. I've lost my faith. I guess there's nothing left for me to do. Take it day by day. I've lost my faith. Oh. I lie awake in bed and think about my life. I really thought that I was doing something right. I went with being honest, being good and kind. I went with standing up and fighting the good fight. And every time I try to take one step ahead, I hit that big brick wall and then I take that fall. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith. I can't remember the last time that I got on my knees and prayed. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith. I guess there's nothing left for me to do. Take it day by day. I've lost my faith. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, there was a time when I truly believed. I used to pray out loud, but no one answered me. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith. I can't remember the last time that I got on my knees and prayed. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith. I guess there's nothing left for me to do. Take it day by day. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith. I can't remember the last time that I got on my knees and prayed. I've lost my faith. I've lost my faith. Guess there's nothing left for me to do. Take it day by day. I've lost my faith. Now we hand it over to.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Is it me? Alrighty, I'm going to do a song from my solo record. It's on Blue Lawn, and as David said, the album's called "Waiting for the Sun." And this is a song. It's a really special song to me because I wrote it for all the guys that have been in the band over the years. I mean, when we started off in 1969, 68, you know, George and I shared an apartment out in the valley, and Randy was in an apartment with some of his musician friends, and we didn't have much, but we started playing at the Troubadour. We had an idea for a kind of music, and combining country and rock and roll. And we had Richie Furay and Jimmy Messina. And we ended up playing at this club called the Troubadour. And we kind of became the house band there. But if we'd have known back then in 1969, these five guys would have such an impact on music. I mean, because if you look at it, it was Randy Meisner, so you got the Eagles there. It was Jimmy Messina, so you got Loggins and Messina. You got Richie Furay, which was Buffalo Springfield, and then I've continued in the band and been successful with that. So you've had with Poco. So you've got four of the biggest, well, certainly a couple of the biggest bands in American rock music over the past decades. And they all came from one band, from these five guys getting together in California with an idea about making music using rock and roll lyrics and country instruments. And so anyway, I wanted to write this song, about my friends, because they're all my friends. I'm just talking about all the years behind us. Well, here we are after all these years. We're still the same as we were back when, oh so long ago, my friend. Now times may change, you know they do. Life's been good for me and you after all that we've been through, my friend. Memories like autumn leaves dancing in the wind, symphonies from where and when, play again and again and again. The road's been long, the road's been rough, upside down and I've seen enough, but we never gave it up, my friend. Memories like autumn leaves dancing in the wind, symphonies from where and when, play again and again and again. Now isn't it just like people say, yesterday is yesterday, you got to take it day by day, my friend, my friend. Now I'm going to hand it off to
Now we're all up.
I think David.
Yeah, we're actually all on screen. Now, just to let everybody know, just to give you some background, right? Rusty's on an iPhone, so he's on a small screen and can't see us all. I got to move Strumberry Pie over here. Watch. I can do this now. Look. Hey, there we go. There we go. Oh, you can now? Okay, Rusty can see us all now. That's good. Okay, so everybody's on a different type of device, so the sound is different for everybody. Marty's got the headphones on, so he's probably got the best sound going. Now, one of the things I got a few questions before I do my housekeeping. I'm going to take everybody backstage except for Strumberry Pie. I want Laura to prove that she can play guitar because she's just sitting there with no guitar.
Okay.
Where's your guitar? So I want a little solo from you because she got stuck not playing guitar. So quick, little solo, just a little song, just real quick.
Where'd he go? Oh, well, hey, hello. Hey, hello. You know what? I got to take my glasses off because number one.
Show us what you can do, sister. Show us what you can do.
Down. Come on. All right.
Okay, so you can play. We just wanted to prove to everybody you can play. Now, did you uncheck the box?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
See,
echo box to talk.
you checked it for talking, right? See, that's a thing. So if anybody's wondering why you sounded like you were underwater, it's because this silly program has this. If you don't have your USB mixer or your headphones plugged in, it gives you that little sound. So, but everything's been going great. We're getting phenomenal comments from everybody. We've got the best audience we've had in the 7 shows. So thank you guys, because you guys brought them all out here. I think that Poco guy brought a few people with him. I don't know. He carried a few people on his back. Now, he brought a few people. So, Rusty, I do have a quick question for you. Now, I'm on this one group, and I bet you that your good friends here, Strumberry Pie, even though it says Strumberry, I'm going to fix that, and Marty will agree. I just noticed it says Strumberry. Anyways.
You know what? This is why we need partners. We are married, but we are married.
So I think you guys will agree with me. I'm on this Facebook group, but Poco should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, God, yes.
Rusty, does it not bother you a little bit? Like, I think you and Warren Zevon, Poco and Warren Zevon, it drives me crazy that the two of you guys are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Hands down.
Yeah, well, it drives me crazy too. And my friends America, they're not in there.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
And they were the biggest act on Warner Brothers through the 70s. They sold millions and millions of records. They continue to be incredibly successful, and they had a lot of impact on music, at least as much as Kiss.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's the thing, right? You look at the list of who's in and who's not, and you go, oh, come on. Warren Zevon can put them in his back pocket, and Poco is a lot better than that band, but I guess we don't vote, right? But hey, you're in my Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You're in my Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for sure. That's all that counts, right? Rusty's like, okay, good, we're good now. My career is complete. So the only reason I brought this mug back on is to do a little housekeeping. I wanted to mention our next show. We have another pie coming on, Johnny Pie. We got Strumberry Pie today, and we got Johnny Pie, Willie Nile, and Stephen Stanley coming up for the next show. That's going to be a fantastic show. I also want.
Can I mention something?
Yes,
that pie plays bass on our original. We've been recording, and we have that pie. Johnny Pisano plays bass on all these songs.
Does he really?
Yes.
Well, that's one
Eventually,
heck of a...
we're friends. But see, pie always comes together.
That's true. That's true. And I actually have a funny fun fact coming up about that. So it's coming.
Oh, boy.
my little pie joke that really amused me this afternoon when I was at work. I was working. I swear I was working, but just I took a break. So for those of you that are watching and want to help out, you can always go over to the lightofdaycanada.com/donate. If you've got a few dollars, again, I know times are tough and things are tight, but if you do have a few extra dollars, 10, 5, whatever you can do will help. We're just trying to keep this thing moving forward until we get to the day where we actually have shows again and we can make some real money for the cause. We do want to help out as much as we can. I do, again, want to thank Edward J. Freeland, but I also want to thank Danima Creative Group for all the design and production of the shows. Connor does a great job from my team. I just want to say thank you to him. Hopefully they're watching tonight. They don't get docked pay if they don't, but they should be watching. It is a Danima production. So our next show we're really looking forward to. I thank everybody for all you're doing, for helping out Light of Day. Like I said, there's not a lot in it, but I know you guys support a lot of different causes, and we really, really, really appreciate you guys supporting this. So I'm going to leave again, and I'm not going to see you till the end. I have to say though, I've got a wee bit of scotch. I got water, but I got a wee bit and I'm sitting back here like a fan, just enjoying this great music. Marty, that song Angelina brought tears to my eyes, by the way.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, Rusty, before I leave, I watched My Friend, the video today. The footage of the old Poco and the photos in that video are fantastic, of all the different Poco bands through the past and right up until now. That's a great video. And I'm sure Rusty's enjoying the harmonies. I would be remiss if I didn't mention how great Strumberry Pie's harmonies were. That was beautiful, guys.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to grab my scotch, kick back, relax, and enjoy round 3 and 4. So, Rusty, you're in charge again. I'm going to let you go introduce your best friends.
Cheers.
Okay. Well, I believe I'm introducing Mr. Marty Allen again.
Yes.
Right on. Thank you, Rusty. It sure is a blast, isn't it? A lot of fun. This song here is Cadillac Baby. I never recorded this yet, but the funny thing is, I was up in northern Ontario, and it was very tranquil and peaceful. It was just this old rundown cottage that needed a bit of work, and we were just very, very close to a lake, and it was very peaceful. And it's funny because it's not my most peaceful song at all. We usually play this song with the full band with my upright bass player and rockabilly and let it really just rip, which is fun. But I just kind of got this little hook on the acoustic guitar and just wrote it out fairly quickly. It was one of my songs that I've wrote the most, had a lot of fluidity and just came quick to me. But also a song I usually don't do on acoustic guitar. It's not recorded yet, but it was fun because a lot of times when you want to record, you have all these songs and you just go in and you don't really have a chance to play them live. We've been playing this for 3 years already, but I plan on recording it at some point. So. Well, Cadillac baby, you drive me crazy, pigtail fence, loads of chrome. Take me on home, baby, take me on home. Well, take me to your daddy's still, drink that liquor right over the hill. Take me to the other side of town, throw them dice, roll them on down. I hear your engine running through the night. Closer, closer, let me come inside. I don't want to see your red tail lights fading fast right out of sight. Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
Can I do something? Okay.
Woo! Strumberry Pie!
Thanks, Marty. All right, we're actually going to do a song that I'm going to play on because it's just a little picking song, and when we tried it out before, we think it works okay. Very soft. This will be proof that I can sort of play the guitar.
You can.
You can. I wrote this song. This is a pretty song that I wrote. It actually had this little picking thing going for a while that I was using. It was just almost like a tick. I was playing this little chord progression picking for a while. And I had some imagery in my mind for a long time as well. And then at some point in time, a friend of mine was struggling, just having, I guess this is what people write songs about, right? Somebody was having a little bit of a hard time, and I felt like this person was moving a lot and constantly moving to not face those struggles. And I don't know, something about that made me write this song, which none of that is probably going to make any sense to anybody, but that's how it goes. That's the songwriting process. Stop moving. It doesn't matter, Andy. All right, see lullaby. This is called. 1, 2, 3.
Someday soon, no, it won't be long. You'll come looking, but I'll be gone. Walking through the woods in the gray northwest. Talking with the trees, but I'll send you my best. Talking with the trees, but I'll send you my best. You build fires with your 2 hands to keep out the dark and the cold, my friend. Now you've cut down all your trees and you quarried all your stone, but the dark and cold still gets into your bones. Dark and cold still gets into your bones. Let's go walking in the snowy woods. Let's get lost, it'll do us some good. Build a cabin where we can hide. Feed the demons that hide inside. Brace ourselves for the rising tide. If I die, will you speak my name? Into the fire, into the flame, so I can shine on you once more. Feel your head lying on the floor. Feel your head lying on the floor. Someday soon, no, it won't be long. If I'm looking, but I'll be gone.
All right, turn it over to the legend. Take it away, Rusty.
Oh, well, thank you, girls. That's awesome. Play a little dobro here to a song that don't go too far with that. Mary's going to be the director on this this shot here, and it's kind of an appropriate song because it's a song about hard times, and I know we're all going through really hard times these days, and hopefully it'll turn around here soon. I got my fingers crossed. I'd like to go back out and play music, you know, like we used to in the old days. Remember that? Song called "A Little Rain." You can put, yeah, you can go ahead and direct it. Curtain in the window can't hide the sweet refrain. say, a little rain don't bother me. Rain don't bother me. Clothes I have on the clothesline, hanging in the rain, waiting for the sunshine to come away. Well, I could tell you dark clouds will never come my way. I know you wouldn't buy a single bird I see. There may be some stormy days standing in our way. There please have faith in me. Believe me when I say, a little rain don't bother me. No, 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 the rain don't bother me. Here we go. There may be some stormy days standing in our way. Baby, please have faith in me. Believe me when I say, a little rain don't bother me. Rain don't bother me. Well, every crash of thunder fades into a sigh. Every drop of rain that falls gives a chance to fly, 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 fly. There may be some stormy days standing in our way. Baby, please have faith in me. Believe me when I say, a little rain don't bother me. No, rain don't bother me. A little rain don't bother me. Rain don't bother me. Yeah. Let it rain, rain, rain. Let it rain. Let it rain, rain, rain. Let it rain. I think it's gonna rain. Let it rain, rain. Let it rain. Thank you, Mary. Nicely done. I think you have a future in directing. So there you go. Now we're back to Marty, I think.
Yeah. Thank you, Rusty, for that song. It's great hearing the dobro. I love the dobro. I love the pedal steel as well. Guitar, dobro, pedal steel, just and it's a bluesy feel, nice feel to that song. Thank you for sharing that. Song here is titled Jesus. Just came up with a character and just took off into this story. Cross around her neck she got from the pawn shop. Leather boots worn to the heel. Denim jacket with wool lining. She likes the way that it feels. Step on your bank, break your mother's back. Down the sidewalk she goes, turning tricks for money to buy about the only thing she knows. Sold her soul to the devil, track marks up to her elbow. With Indian ink she rode a rebel on her forearm high one night. Bare light bulb on the ceiling shines down on the Bible she's reading. She says, come to me, Jesus, come to me tonight. Where do you go when you trust nobody? You can't even trust yourself. Pull down a motel Bible, hidden from bottles on a shelf. She read Jesus loves a sinner. She said, Jesus, he'll love me. I'm still looking for some answers. I'm still looking for some company. Sold herself to the devil, track marks up to her elbow. With Indian ink she wrote rebel on her forearm high one night. The bare light bulb on the ceiling shines down on the Bible she's reading. She says, come to me, Jesus, come to me tonight. Dark-haired girl looking for her mother, laid her to a cemetery, brushed the snow off an old grave marker on a sign that said Jesus came to me. Sold her soul to the devil, track marks up to her elbow. With Indian ink she wrote rebel on her forearm high one night. A bare light bulb on the ceiling shines down on the Bible she's reading. She says, come to me, Jesus, come to me tonight. Jesus came to me tonight.
My God, Marty. Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you, Strumberry Pie. Off to you, guys again, guys and girls. Great job and enjoying been really enjoying your tunes. It's a fabulous night. It's great that David is doing all this work, invited us all, and to be together, come together tonight for a great cause as well. So thank you, Strumberry Pie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. That was
Thank
such a
you.
beautiful song.
That everything tonight has been just beautiful. We want to thank Dave and Light of Day Canada for having us. You know, these are like little dreams come true for us because Laura and I are Light of Day fangirls.
We are.
And then we force Andy to come and join us.
No force.
Don't feel bad for him if he ever complains to you about us. Don't feel sorry for him.
Don't rush him. All right, tell him about the song.
Yeah, all right. So our last song is called Pointed Guns. And, you know, the story actually goes back years and years and years throughout many different situations that have happened, not only in this country, but others. But I worked for a nonprofit organization back in 2016. And
Long time ago.
my job was to help Latino families integrate into society. So I would help them with finding jobs and things with school, English, ESL classes and things like that. And there was a period of time during some turmoil, some changes that caused a lot of fear in that community. And these moms would come to me with horror stories about what their kids were going through in school. And they didn't want to go to school because they thought their parents wouldn't be home when they got back. And all these fears of things that were happening to families from different countries. And so I felt helpless. I couldn't do really much for them. So I wrote them a song. And that's all, that was all I could do. So my heart goes out to all the people who love this country and want to work hard to be a part of it.
Amen.
Oh, true. Mm, mm. Dark houses, curtains drawn. No one knows, no one's asking what's going on. Nobody in or out. Did you notice? Can you tell me what's it all about? Here they come, here they come. When it comes, kick the door and turn the lights on. Everybody's gone. Kick the door and turn the lights on. Everybody's gone. In the classroom, empty chairs. Call the house, no one answers. There's nobody there. Cuts and bruises, salty tears. If you ask, they won't tell you. Paralyzed by fear, paralyzed by fear. Oh, here they come, here they come. Pointed guns. Kick the door and turn the lights on. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Kick the door and turn the lights on. Everybody's gone. Tires screeching, lights are shining in her eyes. Pulled away from her babies and
they start to cry. Here they come, here they come. Take the door and turn the lights on. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Hope is lost, dreams are broken. What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? Keep the door and turn the lights on. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone.
All right, over to the rest. It's not often that I get to be on the same bill as someone whose songs I've covered for years, and I love this next song. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you, Rusty.
Well, thank you guys. Nice job. It was really nice. To start off, I want to do a shout out to Frank and also an old friend of mine back there in Colorado, Dave German. Dave and I were in kid bands together. I think we were probably 14. We used to do stuff, the venture stuff like that. And we were a rowdy bunch, Dave and I. And I mean, you could tell by the name of the band that we were in. The band is called The Good Guys. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to do a song. This is a song that we released in the end of '78. And at the time, Timothy B. had just left the band to join the Eagles. And George Grantham, our drummer, had just left the band to join the Byrds. I have a horse or a frog. Maybe it's a horse in my throat. And as it turns out, the record label, it was just me and Paul Cotton. And the record label thought that they were going to drop us because they didn't think that we could carry on without Timothy and George. And so management, who had come down to our rehearsal, we were rehearsing a new rhythm section and getting ready for another tour and to make another record. And management had been down there and they'd heard a couple of songs that we were doing. And one of them was the song I'm going to do now. And so they told the record company, they said, listen, before you drop them, come down to the rehearsal hall and hear the new songs that they've got. And so they did. They came down and we played them this song. And they turned around and looked at us and said, why don't you go make a record? And it turned out to be, our first gold record, first gold album, first #1 song. And so it worked out pretty well. Anyway, let's see if I can get my throat through this. I haven't sung in 8 months, so. Tonight I'm gonna break away. Just you wait and see. I'll never be imprisoned by a faded memory. Just when I think I'm over, this broken heart will mend. I hear her name and I have to cry. The tears come down again. All right, everybody now. It happens all the time. This crazy love of mine, it wraps around my heart, refusing to unwind. Ooh, crazy love. I think my voice is a little too hoarse tonight for that, so I'll leave it at that. But thanks a lot. Thanks to everybody. You there, David?
Hey, well, we got a little bit of it, but yeah, it's a tough one if the voice isn't on. Great, that's a beautiful song.
Awesome.
Sorry, I was responding online. Fabulous, Rusty.
Rusty, I think I told you this before, but when I was a little kid, what year did that come out again? What year was it? 79. So I was So I was 13, and I remember my dad used to take me to Towers Records every Friday night, and I would buy. He would let me buy 3 or 5 45s. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4, but I used to buy 45, and he said, you have to get this, and he bought me Crazy Love. He says, if you like the Eagles, you're going to love this. And not only did I love it, but you guys soared far, far above the Eagles on my books as my favorite album. So it was my dad who turned me on to Poco. So I was quite thankful for that. And who knew all these years later? Yeah. No.
Glad it wasn't your grandfather.
No. My dad had great taste in music, thankfully, so that helped. You guys, that's such a beautiful song, and everybody knows it, and everybody. I was singing. Were you guys singing?
Yes.
Actually, Andy, you probably playing.
Well, hey, listen, it was a fantastic show. Marty, our friend Orla was watching tonight.
Yeah, I did see her come up. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody had a ton of fans. It was just great watching the comments come through. Your songs are beautiful. One of the things that I benefit from in all of this is getting to meet amazing musicians. With Light of Day in general, I've got to meet so many great people. But being able to bring unbelievable music and songs like this to more people, it's a thrill for me, and it's an honor to have all of you guys on our show. And I really do, from the bottom of my heart, and from all the people at Light of Day, I want to thank you guys for doing this for Light of Day. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. And hopefully, if we have a big Light of Day festival online, maybe we get you guys to come out for that, because we're working on that right now. So. So, any last anything you guys want to talk about before we leave? Rusty, anything coming up for you that you want to mention?
Well, no, everything's on hold. Actually, shows that we have in 2021 are now getting pushed back to 22. So
really,
the music business is not in good shape, and I'm just holding on and hoping that we make it through it. It's really hard. Like you were saying, on all the managers and the agents and business managers and the venues and the people that run the venues and the people that work at the venues, and all of those people are affected by this, and it's going to be a while, and so it's a scary time.
It is, and hopefully we can adapt. And we're looking at putting on ticketed online shows to help. We did one with Joe Durso. He did fairly well, and hopefully we can start doing more of them, so that I know it's not the same feel as being up on a stage and looking out at a crowd, but I know everybody's got to survive as well, and hopefully everybody will pitch in. And I think we lost Rusty. Maybe, I bet you I know what happened. Mary's phone might have died. She told me that could happen. Damn this technology.
It held out.
It did. It held out, and that's the main thing. But Laura, Dee Dee, Andy, thanks for everything. I appreciate you guys putting up with me over the last week and a half. And
we think of having a trio. I know that's not your normal. It threw you guys for a loop a little bit, but we really appreciate you working with us to make sure that we sound great.
Yeah, this StreamYard program was originally built for podcasts, and now that musicians are using it, they're working at trying to get the sound. Well, just like you found those 2 buttons, they weren't there last week, so they're trying to come up with things to improve it. We're getting there. But I appreciate it. And Marty, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's raise a glass.
Everyone, Marty, to Rusty,
and
before we go, we do have one thing to mention.
Yes.
Right? So 1 or 2. So we do work to donate our time to Light of Day every time it comes around in Asbury Park. I don't know what's going to happen in January, but it's something that's near and dear to our heart. His mother had Parkinson's. My aunt had ALS, and I know that Light of Day, the money that goes towards Parkinson's research, but also like other neurodegenerative diseases. So it's one of the things that we do a lot. We support all of these organizations. So there's a local organization called the Joan Dance, local to us, I'm sorry, at the Jersey Shore, called the Joan Dancy and Pals, People with ALS organization, that is a local organization that gives money directly to people and their families who have ALS to help support them for the things that they need. Every year we do a show, we perform for one of their big fundraisers called Cinderella's Ball in December. Obviously that's not happening this year. So I just want to say to any of our fans who are local, if they would go over to the Joan Dancy and Pals, Joan Dancy, Joan DANCY and PALS, PALS organization, you can still donate, because they're going to lose a lot of money from that fundraiser not happening. Every year in December at the Stone Pony, and we play it with it's huge. So if you come to see us usually in December, that's not going to happen, but that doesn't mean you can't donate.
Great. I hopefully everybody will. And you said you had one more thing.
Yeah. You were going to talk about the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, you know what? We were talking about how hard everyone has been hit, between venues, musicians, production workers, anyone involved in any kind of entertainment and hospitality. And we just want to say we're thankful for some of the restaurants that have been able to open up outdoors and still welcome musicians. They're still hiring us. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have the summer we normally have, but we have all been lucky enough to play some of these outdoor events that have been socially distanced and limited capacity. And we're thankful to those venues for keeping us working,
I've been watching, and I've seen like Tim Cabry and Telegraph Hill doing things. Tony Pellegrosi's been putting on shows.
Yeah.
It's great that there's still, like, he had Max Weinberg last week with Joe Durso, or a couple weeks ago, and it's great that there's still something happening. But like Rusty mentioned, it's the trickle down. It's all the people and the venues and the
lighting workers,
that's right.
Designers, sound engineers, caterers, everybody. There are so many workers.
Beer vendors.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true. And Marty, you got anything you want to share before we call it an evening?
No, I just want to say I just had a really good evening participating in this. Thank you to you, David, and Strumberry Pie and Rusty Young as well, that we're all together doing this. It was just a nice window of opportunity to get your music out and be heard via the internet. I did have, obviously, lost a lot of shows, but we did have a couple of shows, some private parties, and just to get the band. We're just a three-piece, but I love the guys. Like, we're like family. So and we just all came together, and it just felt right, as you as well. That's what a band generally is, like a family, your second family. But just felt so good to play, and you do miss it. Just hoping for some more good times to come that way with musical friends and musical lovers and listeners. So, thank you.
I was quite impressed. I've seen your Johnny Cash shows, because Evan opened up a couple shows for you. You must have been wondering why that little kid was opening, but that was
awesome. That was awesome. Yeah, that's great.
But your originals. I was listening to all three of you guys today, more Marty and Strumberry, because I listen to Poco every day. So I had to put in some time with everybody else and do some research, right? But I love your originals, just fantastic. You guys were all great, and again, Rusty, what a thrill. I mean, I will say this, and it's not to drop names or anything, but when I grew up, it was the New Jersey sound. It was Bruce Springsteen and anything New Jersey, and then it was the California sound, and it was Poco and Warren Zevon and the Eagles, and that was it. I didn't listen to anything else until I got older, and I thought I just had two streams of music, and I got to meet my hero Bruce Springsteen, and now I got to have Rusty Young on a show with us. So I'm pretty well done. See you, folks. I'm out of here. And I'm not kidding. If you told me in 1979 that I would have met Bruce Springsteen, my son would have been on stage with him, and Rusty Young, I'd be doing a website with him and his wife, I'd say, yeah, I don't think so. But it's pretty cool. So thank you for that honor, Rusty, and hopefully we can do something else down the road. I really hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. Thanks again.
Yep, not a problem. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to do a little housekeeping and go over a few things. I want to thank you guys for being a great part of it. It was the most tuned in show we had. The comments just kept. I don't think Evan got to watch the baseball game at all. I think he was stuck hitting comments all night. So you made him work. So thanks, guys. Have a great night, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, Mary, next week. Bye, Mary. Thank you for the camera work.
Bye, Mary. Great job on the camera, Mary. We'll talk about it.
Sure.
See you guys. Well, what a show that was. I have to tell you, I tried real hard not to be fanboy. I saw your message, Pete. I was trying, but I did wear the Poco hat. Again, it's been a thrill for all of the artists, from Jason Heath and Danny Gochnar and Jared Clemens, my own son on the show. Ron LaSalle, the last show was fantastic as well, and Joe Durso. It's just been amazing, and it's great to sit back here and actually to bring this music to you guys, because there's a lot of new people, and I hope you tune in to our next show if you just came for the first time, because people have been sending me emails and text messages saying, wow, I'm so glad I tuned in this week. Last week was my first show. I was there to see Joe Durso, but now I'm here, and I loved it. And, this Ron LaSalle guy is great. There's Jake Thistle. So it's been fun introducing people to some of the great music that I've been lucky enough to be involved with or see over the years. So I do want to thank everybody for tuning in, and hopefully you'll tune in again. And I do want to mention, again, I know that Laura mentioned it about a cause that she's involved with, and it's hard trying to keep these foundations and these different organizations alive right now, because people don't have money to donate. Businesses don't have money to sponsor as much as they did, if any. I know I'm having a tough time myself with that kind of thing. So if you could take a few minutes and drop a couple dollars into the Light of Day Canada bucket, I'd appreciate it. It's lightofdaycanada.com/donate. $5, $10, $2. Well, $2 on a Visa card might not be the smartest thing on your part, but you know what I mean. Anything helps, and we would truly appreciate it. Thank you to the Edward J. Freeland Foundation for sponsoring our artists tonight. Again, they're not getting rich, but it's a little something for their time. And to Danima for producing the show. I really appreciate all that Connor does for us. Couple sad things. Hate to leave on this note. Obviously, we lost one of the greatest guitar players we know. He's a rock god, a guitar god, Eddie Van Halen. I'll never forget when Van Halen 1 came out, the debut album. It just blew me away. It's one of the greatest albums ever. And this guy, he had magic in those fingers. I don't know how he did it. And I'm not a heavy rock guy, but Eddie was one of my favorites, and I loved Eddie and Dave together, and he'll be missed. And again, we do these shows for Parkinson's and cancer, and this poor man lost his life at 65 to cancer. So prayers to his family and condolences to everyone there. And then, unfortunately, the Light of Day Canada family lost a very young man, Mr. Chris Turpin. Chris passed away on the weekend. It was sad. Here he is here playing at, I think this was Light of Day Canada 2 or 3 with Heads Up Lincoln, Anthony DiCarlo. But he played in a lot of different bands, friends with so many in the Niagara region, the musicians, the Mandevilles, the Roxwells, the Mad Hatters, all those guys. They were all good friends, and they were friends of Chris's. And he even pitched in and helped Joe Durso out when Joe brought the Broadway show, Neil Berg's Broadway show here. Chris helped him out. He played keyboards and helped him. And he'll be missed, and I want to send my condolences out to all of his friends in the music community here in Niagara, and to the Turpin family. It's sad to lose anyone, but when you lose somebody that young, it's tough. So my best to their family, and once again, everybody has brought this up. Sorry, it's tough for me to get through those things. I'm not good at that, but. We talked about this a few times. Rusty brought it up, Strumberry Pie brought it up, and I brought it up. I'm going to throw this up for you guys. Please go and visit all your favorite artists, their websites. Go to their online store, buy some merch. It's probably the best way to help them out right now. I know I ran over to Bobby Mahoney's and got Evan a new Bobby Mahoney t-shirt and hat and stickers and stuff. And, I'm working, and I've been lucky, myself and my wife are working. So we try to help out any way we can. And so if you have a few dollars, if you're working, go to your favorite band's website. Go check out martyallenband.com, strumberrypie.com, and pocoband.com, which is an amazing website designed by an amazing company. Oh, sorry, little plug. But it'll help. And, again, no money coming in from streaming, no tours, no club shows on the weekend. They're not bringing in the money. So any way you can help is great. Tip jars. We're going to try doing some online ticketed shows. Hopefully they come about in the new year, and we can help in some way. Our next show is a doozy. If you've never seen the great Willie Nile, tune into this show. From New York City, we got the great Willie Nile, who's got an amazing new album out that we'll talk about. His bass player, who is also one hell of a solo artist, Johnny Paisano, and good friend of ours. And for the first time, I get to see Stephen Stanley from Toronto, Ontario. I do know his music, and want to thank Charles Harrison for making this show possible. So that's it, folks. I'm out. You don't need to see too much more of me for the evening, but I do truly appreciate you coming out. We had an amazing audience. We had 3 amazing performances or performers, and it was just a fun night sitting back and listening to some great original tunes and seeing the Dobro and listening to some great stories. It was a lot of fun, and we're living in crazy times. I think music helps, music heals, and I want to keep bringing stuff to you guys as much as I can. I'm trying to do a little bit. There's a lot of people out there trying their best to bring music to you during these tough times. Some of it's free, but like I said, if you can put a few dollars in tip jars and donate to different organizations, we'd really help it. But I've always believed music heals. I remember as a kid seeing Live Aid, and I was blown away at what music could do. And I think we need it now more than ever. 2020 has been one strange year. What a long, strange trip it's been, as Mr. Garcia once said. And I keep saying, we can only go up from here, but I don't think we've got there yet. So we need to work together. We need to listen to our music, help each other out, stay safe, listen to our science. If we protect each other, we'll get through this. It's important. It's important for the musicians to get back to work. It's important for you guys to get back to work, for all of us to get back to some normalcy. So, I'm not here to preach. I just want us all to work together, and we can do this. And I want to wish you all great health. And we'll see you for episode 4, which is the last episode of season 2. That'll be on October 22nd with Johnny Paisano, Willie Nile, and Stephen. So we will see you guys soon. I have to hit my little outro. Thanks again. Have a great night. Ciao.